Oh my. The girls. The.
They're being compared to the Beatles as they were in the beginning.
Yo! Welcome to MaffmanJones Movie Reviews. I'm John Maffio, and today's featured movie is One Direction, This Is Us, the concert documentary starring Harry, Liam, Niall, Zayn, and Louis. How did I know all 5 names that quickly and easily? I feel more like a cross between Clark Kent and Danny Zuko rather than an actual boy band member, but anyway, before I digress, the plot is basically about the One Direction members, all 5 of them, their journey through their recent tour, what they would have done if they didn't do One Direction, what they might do after One Direction, but that's not really the point. It's just to see some singing and some hormones dancing in women and, you know, light up the flames. You might just be wondering, why did you even see this in the first place? Well, I made a wager on Facebook that if I got over 50 likes on the status about a month ago, that I would see it. It got about 15 more than the minimum amount, so I have no choice. I made a wager. I have to fulfill that promise, and here I am. My diet is ruined! I hope you're happy. If you expect me to rip this movie into shreds and basically tear it apart like it's one of the worst movies I've seen in the year, well, you're not going to get that in this review, because I didn't like the movie, but this isn't for my demographic. If this was an NSYNC or Backstreet Boys movie, I would have very enjoyed it much, but that makes me a hypocrite, right? But seriously, anyway, it's not for me. Shout out to my cousins who accompanied me on this crazy quest. They enjoyed it a lot because they're One Direction fans. If you're a fan of One Direction, you will highly enjoy this movie, and more. If you don't, you're not gonna like this movie. Plain and simple. But you know what? I actually got some things out of this movie. I would actually probably enjoy hanging out with the One Direction crew. I mean, they might seem like douchebags on the outside, the way they dress, the way they stylize their hair. They look like frickin' models out of Abercrombie and Fitch. But they seem like cool dudes, and I would chill with them at a bar and have a drink and just talk about random shit. Simon Cowell of American Idol and X Factor fame has one interview in this movie where he says maybe 2 or 3 sentences, and you've seen it in the trailers where he's visualized as like this god among men. He is focused and pictured in the center of the frame with a pretty distinct background, and he basically facilitates and releases some information about the boy band that he created that he feels necessary for you to enjoy. Wait a minute. I kind of do the same exact thing. After witnessing much more fulfilling documentaries in my lifetime, seeing this one just makes me realize that it's mostly a manufactured product that's just trying to, you know, sell to its fans, because One Direction's fans, doesn't matter what age or size they are, they will see this movie, and it will make money based off the fact that it's a One Direction movie alone. And it's not really true to heart, it's not a heartfelt documentary, but it has a couple moments in there where you're like, oh, well, that's nice. The humane moments in the documentary as a whole are very infinitesimal, but when they're there, I guess you can recognize it, and it made me feel, okay, this isn't entirely fake. The 3D is surprisingly sharp and crystal clear, and there's also a lot of references, this is really random, but there's a lot of references to like little things like during the actual concert moments where they're singing, like, I don't mind their music, they're catchy. They make catchy music. It may be shallow and bland, you might not remember it in like 5-10 years, but it's very catchy. And some of the backdrops for their concerts, like one involved a comic book, another involved space invaders and asteroids, like the game Asteroids. And that was really cool. I was like, okay, nice throwbacks there. But I'm pretty damn sure that they got laid all so consistently all the time. Like, they had around them 24/7. There's no way they were like, no, we're just going to avoid that. I mean, the movie emphasizes that they have a very hectic schedule and they have no time to do anything recreational, but come on. They had sex. Simply put, it wouldn't be realistic if they didn't get laid. Other than that, One Direction, This Is Us was a decent documentary. It wasn't for me, but it was well made. It gives a decent insight on the individual members of One Direction. The music is very catchy, and come on. Beautiful, that song about insecurity and girls, you don't know you're beautiful. It's a catchy song, just admit it, okay? I'm gonna give it a 2 out of 5 stars. It's a Sam Worthington, if Sam Worthington had a documentary based on his life. Cause God knows that would be very interesting. Don't forget Avatar, mates. If you've seen One Direction, This Is Us, what'd you think of it? To the fangirls out there, was it what you expected? Did it exceed your expectations, or did you not like it? Any fanboys out there? Any guys, like straight guys that like One Direction out there? That's what I thought. If you like this review, please subscribe and like this video. And check out Facebook, Twitter, and We Live Film links in the info box. I am John Maffio, aka MaffmanJones, and I am tired of this look, so I'm just gonna stop this shit. See you next week.
As a group, we're stronger than if there was 5 people by themselves.
I always wanted little brother. Now I've got 4 of them.
We love you, One Direction.